Hi everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs, and today I'm back with some more candy dome card holders. So they can be used for Christmas or winter. I've had a few requests for some that are holiday-ish but not necessarily Christmas, and so that's kind of what I've worked on. Some of them are a little more Christmassy than others, but I've got 4 new files and hopefully there is something in here that you will enjoy. So we're going to start with our snowman. Now this is the Christmas snowman. I have another snowman that I'll show you next. And for this one, I'm going to do the dial opening in the back. This card does come with both the pull tab and the dial opening, and I've already made the pull tab and gave it away. I needed a really quick gift the other night, so I quickly gave that away. So I'm just going to do it with the dial, but as we go along, you'll see see both of the back openings. So for our little Christmas snowman, sorry, I've already glued these pieces together. But you'll have this black piece right here, and then you'll have a snowman piece. No, sorry. Then you'll have another black piece that's actually his eyes and his mouth. You'll have this white piece that the nose or the eyes and the mouth are cut out. You'll have 2 cheeks, his nose, and his scarf is 2 layers. You will also have his hat, which I've glued together, and it's 1 layer, and then the band and the holly and the berries. So that is the snowman. Oh, whoops, and his little feet. So we need to not forget our little feet. And then we have the back. So let's finish putting him together. I promise on these others, I'll show you a little bit more detail what we're doing. On this snowman, there are 2 black layers that go on the front, and you might ask yourself why that is, and I will show you as we do the other ones what I'm talking about, but that's basically just so that it has some stability. These can get really heavy depending on what size of Christmas ornament you use and what type of candy you put in there, and so I wanted you to have some layers to give it some stability. So once you get this all put together, then we're going to go ahead and glue our hat on. And I am using Christmas balls that are 3.15 inches. I bought mine off of Amazon, but you can find them just about anywhere. I've had a few people email me or leave messages that they've bought bulbs or ornaments and then they were too small. And so I've put together a video that shows you how to resize this so that you can keep everything in proportion and use those smaller balls regardless of what size they are. So I'll get that posted as well. Hopefully today, we'll see what happens. Okay, so our little Christmas snowman is complete, and if you wanted something that was a little less Christmassy, you could leave the holly and berries off or put a snowflake or something on there, which is what my next snowman actually is going to have. Okay, so then we have our dial piece. So we have the very back piece, the 2 washers, and these are super important. We have the dial mechanical piece, and then we have the back piece. And I have already taken my, excuse me, I took this front piece and lined it up and took a pencil and drew this circle, and I'll show you that on the next one. So now all I'm going to do is we're going to assemble this little piece together before we fill it with candy. So on the dial pieces, you put them together and then you're going to fill it with candy. So you'll need a brad, and I'm going to take this back piece and I'm going to stick my brad through it, through that hole. Take one of the washers, take the dial piece, the mechanical piece, the second washer, and then this back piece. And these all have the little hole, so that's how you'll know that this is the actual back piece, because it has that hole for the dial. We're just going to line everything up, and then I'm going to flip it over and open up that brad. Okay, now I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to glue this all the way around. Some of my cards have just the circle piece for the back and some of them have the full piece. There's a reason why I do that. It depends on how heavy it is, if it needs the support or not. But the snowman's pretty good, so I just did the circle. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip him over and I'm going to put glue, I don't know if you can see that, on this edge all the way around. Do not put it on this bottom piece right here where the dial is supposed to spin. It's kind of self-explanatory, really. We're just going to put glue along that side. And my glue bottle is just about empty. I did fill it right before I started filming, so hopefully we won't run out of glue. But I need to run to the store and get some more glue because I'm really close to being out. And if you use a glue that dries clear, you don't need to worry about if it seeps over on the edge. Okay, once that's down, I always go through and make sure that my dial is spinning. Sometimes you just need to loosen it up a little bit. And that one spins just fine. So now we're going to go ahead and flip it over. And on that line that I've traced, except I did it backwards, so I need to trace it again. That's all right. Now you can see what I'm doing. Gonna line that up. And I usually use a pencil just because if I accidentally go over and get it on that front piece, I can erase it. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and put glue where I just drew that circle with my hot glue gun. Don't get any glue where the dial is. And the glue does not have to be perfect, but you do want the dome pretty much right on that circle that you've drawn. Otherwise, everything's not going to line up. Okay, so now that that is on there, I can add my snowman, and there are a couple of ways to do it. I always use foam pop dots, which I'm going to do today. I have had a couple of people mention that sometimes they will just cut this little tab off right here off of the globe and then just glue the layers all together without using the foam. That works too. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever your preference is. If you've followed me for very long, you'll know that I like my foam tape. I buy it in the bulk. In fact, this one is almost gone. I just got a new one yesterday that came. But I like the foam because it just adds a lot of dimension. Okay, so once we get those on there, let's go ahead and remove the backing pieces. And I'm going to try and hurry through this video so that you're not sitting here watching me for a long time, because we've already done, I think this is the fourth video I've done with these. Okay, now we're just going to slip that on, press it down where the foam was. And with the back opened, I can go ahead and fill it up. I've just got some Christmas M&Ms, but you can put just about anything in here that you want. I'll show you some here in a minute that I put the big balls in. And they're a little too big, but they worked. Okay, then close it up. And that is our Christmas snowman. And like I said, I have him also with the pull tab in the back if you would prefer that. So there's one. Now let's start on the winter snowman. And I'll bring him over here. So I've got two of them cut out because this one I did do for both the dial and the pull tab. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. This one is pretty much all glued together. This is going to be for the pull tab, and I've already drawn my circle. So I'm going to set these aside for right now. And we're going to go ahead and put glue right on that circle. Don't get glue on your tab from your pull tab. And I've also found that it's a little bit easier if I flip it over and pull that tab. Not really pull it, but just bend it a little bit so that it's already open. Now we're going to go ahead and take our glue gun. And I just put some more glue in it, so let's see if it'll come out. There we go. And just right along that line that I drew. Take your tab, and you want your tab on your ornament away from that pull tab. So I usually put it down here on the bottom. We're just going to line that up. Move it around a little before the glue dries if we need to. And again, I can take some foam pop dots and add my little snowman. I'm not going to right now because I've already shown you how to do that, and I'm trying to make this a little bit of a quicker video. But then this one, although it's not glued together, is already done, and it has the pull tab. So this is our winter snowman, and he has a little snowflake, and I gave him heart cheeks as well. So you could make this a little more feminine if you wanted to. If you wanted to do this snowman, but you wanted it to have Christmas, just change up your colors and then maybe add the holly and berry to his hat instead of the snowflake. But they're interchangeable, they'll all work really well. Okay, so here is the same snowman with the dial back, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to layer this one. So we have our ball. I'm going to take it out, the ornament, and let me show you what pieces you will have. So you will have a back. It will either have the dial, which has this little half circle, or it will have the pull tab. If you're doing the dial, you will also have the dial, the two washers, and the back piece. And again, this one's just a circle. Whoops. Okay, so for our snowman, he's got lots of layers. And if you've heard me talk before in the past, when you download these, you want to make sure that you have at least 4 layers so that it's plenty sturdy to hold your little dome. So we have his hat, which is basically just a half circle, the puff and the brim, and the snowflake that I'm going to add. And then his scarf is 2 layers. This is the same as the Christmas snowman or the one that we just did. You have a nose. You have his 2 little heart cheeks. You have your first layer, which has the cutout of the eyes and the mouth, because you don't want to glue on all those little tiny dots. You have a black layer so that it'll show through. And then you have your base layer that you're going to build everything up on. So let's go ahead and we're going to take our base, or our black layer, and just put some glue down. Maybe. I'm going to just glue all the way around. Then we're going to line that up. And I'm going to, before I glue the rest of this on, I'm going to take my front piece and I'm going to take this back piece, and I've already done this, but I wanted to show you. I'm going to lay those out there, match them, and then I took my pencil and I drew the circle in there. Now the reason I did it with this piece and not the back piece is this piece has the feet and this one does not, and so I wanted to make sure that they lined up just perfect. Okay, let's take our glue again. This time we're doing the white piece with the cutouts for his eyes and his mouth. And we're going to lay him on here. And you could also ink these up if you wanted to. give him a little bit of shading. I did on this snowman. I don't know how well you can see on the camera, and remember it's not glued together, but along the edge I added a little bit of blue with my distressed crayon. And I've shown these before in other videos too, and I'll probably do it on the gingerbread. Okay, anyway, we're going to line that up. Then we're going to glue all of these pieces next. So I'm going to take the scarf, and I'm going to put glue on this back piece, and I'm just going to kind of put it in so I'm going to take the scarf and just put some glue on those solid pieces. And then lay it on top of the second scarf, or the bottom layer of the scarf. And that gives it the stripes. Okay, when you glue the scarf onto your snowman, you want to make sure that it's not touching where the ornament is going to go. Otherwise, the ornament won't lay on there straight. So you're going to kind of put him up a little bit higher, like that. And I'm just going to glue the neck piece. I'm not going to glue this piece that hangs down. Okay, I'm going to take my shoes and I'm going to glue them on. And you could put these on with foam pop dots if you wanted to, just to give him a little bit more dimension. Okay, then we're going to do our hat. Just line everything up. Do the brim of our hat. Then I'm going to add my cheeks. Oops, forgot the pom-pom on the top of our hat. Gotta have that. And the snowflake, or like I said, you could add some holly berry or leave it blank. You don't have to have something on his hat. Okay, next we're gonna do the little heart cheeks. And then finally the nose. Okay, so there is our winter snowman. Now we'll go ahead and put together his back. I'm gonna get another brad, and I just get these, I've shown this a bunch of times. You can get them at Target or Walmart, the grocery store. They're just your regular office brads. And they're not uberly expensive. Okay. I'm going to take the final back piece, the washer, the dial, another washer, and the backing piece. And we're going to open up that brad and And you know what? I did it again. My circle's drawn on this side. That's where I want it. Is on the side up. Okay, I'm going to put glue here and then put our ornament down there. Be sure to stay away from the dial piece so that it will spin. Just going to line that up. Press it down for a minute. Then flip it over and we're going to glue all of this down. I actually should have glued that down before I put the dial on. It would have been a little bit easier. Would have been a lot easier. So, again, do as I say, not as I do. And then we're going to spin this, make sure that it spins. There's no glue catching it. And it is ready to go. Okay. Now I can add some foam pop dots and add our little snowman on here as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Just because I want to show you how this goes. As you'll notice, if you start doing a lot of these, they all go together very much the same. And I do have more of these in the works. I've got a couple more winter ones that I'm doing. I've got some Valentine's and some birthday that are all pretty much designed. Just need to be tested and then cut. So those will be coming very soon. Go ahead and lay that on there. Match him up. And he is ready to go. Now I made a mistake on this one and it's okay, it's going to work, but it'll show you why you need to be careful. So if you'll notice where I put this last piece, it's not going straight up and down. And so my window, we have this little piece right here. I don't know if you can see that. We've got this little piece because it's not perfect. But when it's closed, it'll still work and it's going to be fine. You just want to check that and make sure. So I'm going to open this little guy up. And this time we're going to put some Hershey Candies Kisses in there. I've got some winter colored ones. These little snowmen would be really cute done up for Valentine's too, in some Valentine colors. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So 2 winter snowmen with both the pull tab and the dial. Okay, let's move on. This next one is more Christmassy than not, but you could probably make it not Christmassy if you wanted to. And that is our gingerbread man and our gingerbread woman. So these are 2 separate files and both of them have both backs. They have either the pull tab or the dial, whichever one you would prefer to use, but they're assembled the same way. So I've already gone ahead and done the gingerbread man and he's got the dial. So this one we're going to do a pull tab on. And I did these balls. They're kind of big. I can only get 5 of them in there, and we'll see how many I can get in when I do the pull tab. I'm betting I can only get 4, but we'll try it with 5. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this one. Now on my gingerbread man, I did edge him up or inked him up just a little bit. I'm not going to do it on this one, but if you wanted to, it's really easy. All I did was I used my distress crayon and a little bit of a makeup sponge and just ran around the edge just to give them a little bit of that cookie color. Okay, so on the gingerbread people, both boy and girl. You're going to have, the only difference is the boy does not have a bow. You've got the icing piece. You've got 2 hearts for the girl, and on the boy, you just have the regular cheeks. Then you have the cookie part. You have a black piece, and you have a second brown piece that's the back layer, and it has the bow cut out. And again, you'll want all of these layers, even though it seems kind of redundant, you're going to want those to make them stronger and to hold up. And then we have our back piece as well. Like I said, this one has the pull tab. I'm going to flip this one over and just kind of pull that out. And then I'm going to take this piece and line it up and draw our circle where we're going to put the ornament. Okay, so we're going to set him to the side, and then we're going to build this piece right here, our back piece. So I have the full piece that has the bow cut out. Go ahead and put some glue on this piece. And I want to go pretty light because I don't want to warp the paper. That's the other reason I like those small little mini jars. But I need to refill mine or something. It's having issues today. We're going to line that right up like that. Perfect. Let's add our front piece. So you'll notice on the gingerbread that I have 3 layers plus the back. And then the decorative pieces, which are the icing and the ribbon and the cheeks. And I wouldn't really consider them a layer as far as stability goes. On this one, they're too small. And she would be really cute inked up on the edges. Now we're going to put, actually before I put the bow on, I'm going to put the icing on. Because I'm using this big old blobby thing, I'm just going to put a few dots here and there. I don't want to get it all over. Out of the way. Okay. So let's flip her over. Okay, and you'll notice on the girl that the edges of the icing come up right up to that cutout circle. On the boy, they don't. There's a little bit of a distance, but with her dress, they do come right up to that circle. Okay, let's go ahead and add her little cheeks. I think these gingerbread would be really cute filled with some gumdrop candy, Christmas gumdrop candy. I might have to see if I've got some at or if they've got some at the grocery store. Okay, we're going to add our bow. Okay, set her aside. I've got glue everywhere here, and now we're going to go ahead and put glue and glue this down. But because it's the pull tab, we have to fill this first. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it. I'm going to try these balls, but I'm betting that I end up doing the kisses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It needs to be able to lay down flat, which that looks like it is. So we're going to go ahead and put glue around that circle. Again, do not put glue on the tab. You guys have heard me say this enough now that you should know what you're doing. And we're going to just line that up. I'm putting the tab of the ornament kind of on a leg piece. Okay, then we'll go ahead and put some foam dots down, and we will glue her on. The foam dots aren't on there. I know it's not glued together, but there is our gingerbread girl. Flip her over, and she's got the pull tab. And then we have the gingerbread boy who has the dial. Okay, last ones are the penguins. So this one I've already finished, and this is the pull tab. And then we're going to do one today with the dial again. So let me pull everything over here, and I'll show you how to assemble this. Of course, you'll have your dome. He has a little beak. The penguin has 2 heart cheeks, 2 black eyes, 2 of the white eyes, and then some layers. So we have a white layer, a blue layer, or whatever color you want your eyes to be is what you'll cut this one out of. You have his feet. And then you have a solid piece of black and another solid piece of black that has the hair. I would highly recommend that you use both of these pieces to give it some stability, because these 2 layers are not full layers. So it's up to you. If you decide you don't want to use that much paper, then discard this one without the hair and use this one that has the hair. But like I said, I would use both. And then you'll have your back pieces, which again are the 2 washers, the back piece, the dial, and the final back piece. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble this little guy. So I'm going to take my piece that I'm going to make or put the dial on, the back piece, and I'm going to take my regular black piece that does not have the hair and line everything up and draw that circle one more time. Whoops, I bumped it. And while we're right here, let's just go ahead and put the dial together. So I'm going to take a brad. I know I refer to both of these pieces as the back piece. So this is the final back piece. This is the one that's going to lay on your counter or whatever. So I'm going to flip it over. Washer. Dial. Washer. And then one more back piece, and this is the one that's going to go on the back of your card, and you want the circle face that you've drawn, the circle that you've drawn facing up towards you. And I'm going to need to redo this piece because it is too big. So in your file, I will have this piece, this back piece right here, redone. In fact, I think I'll just do another piece like this. So I'm not going to do the back. I'm just going to layer it because I need to fix that. So we've got the piece with the hair. We're going to take the piece without the hair. Line them up. Then on the penguin, I'm going to put my feet on first. So when I did the snowman, I put the feet on last, but on the penguin, I'm going to put him on first. It probably doesn't really matter. It's just kind of whatever look you're going for. But I like the feet underneath the white part of the penguin. So then we have the blue piece, or your eye piece, whatever color you want, the colored part of your eye. I tested all those pieces where I thought I did. I'm frustrated that that back piece isn't working, but it happens, and I promise it'll be fixed in your file. Add that white piece. And then we've got the two little white pieces of eyes that go on top. We're going to add the black, the irises. The cheeks. Whoops, not quite on his eye. And then we have his beak. And again, just like the scarf on the snowman, we want to make sure that we put that beak up high enough that it's not overlapping that circle where your dome is going to be. Okay, and then of course, if this piece was working, you would glue that on there. And then you just go ahead and layer your, I'm gonna move those out of the way. You're just gonna go ahead and layer that right on there. Add it with some foam pop dots, or break that tab off and just glue it on there. And with that extra black piece, this is gonna be really sturdy and it's gonna hold all of your candy. So that is all I have today. Quick review. We have the penguin. We have the winter snowman. We have the Christmas snowman. We have the gingerbread girl. And we have the gingerbread boy. So lots of new files. Thank you. Okay, just a real quick PS. I fixed the file. This is the piece you're gonna need. I'm gonna put this together really quick. You'll put your brad in through there. Flip it over, washer. I may have lost a washer now. Washer. The back piece with the circle that you've drawn facing towards you. Open up the brad. And then you'll line this up and glue this down all the way around. And this is your back piece for the dial or the penguin. Anyway, just wanted you to see that and let you know that it was all fixed. Thanks again. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have found this video informative. Please give me a thumbs up. Hit subscribe down below so that you don't miss any of my videos, and have a great day.